Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, let's explain the meaning while we're here. Gaura Modur Sware, in a very sweet tune, Nam Gai, he's chanting the name. And then Grihe Tako, what is it? Grihe Tako, Grihe Tako means live at home. Bone Tako, live in the forest. In either way, Sada Harinam Bolidako is constantly call out the holy name. Shuke Ba Duke Nako Badane, Shuke Ba Duke, Bule Nako. So either in happiness or in distress, Bule Nako, don't forget to do this. Either in happiness or distress. Either we get so many, we get a PAN card in the mail, comes up to 6 days. It's like I wasn't in India. And then and other things, it takes years. So shuke duke bule nako, either happiness or distress, bule nako, don't forget. Barane harinam bole. To barane means with joy. Maya jale baddha hoye acho miche kajoloye. Many times devotees will say to me, Prabhu, it's not so easy for us to regularly read Srila Prabhupada's books. Not so easy to do that. You know, I have to leave for my office at 7 in the morning. They say to me like that. In other words, like there's no question of not having another option. I have to leave for my... It's like the way it's presented. There's no other option. I have to leave for work at about, before 7. Prabhu, I have to leave for the office every morning before 7. It's like, there's no question of any negotiation here. Yeah, the way it's presented. Yes? You had that experience? This is called Maya Jale Baddha Hoye. We've created an illusion. Maya Jale. It's a network of illusion. Maya Jale means a network of illusion. Why I have to leave at 7 because of the traffic at the overpass there every morning. I mean they're constructing a new metro and every morning I have to leave before 7. There's no Maya Jali, because it's one illusion connected to another. Because then I have to we're working on this project in my boss and well it's all built up on this. Why? Because I have my family. And it's all I'm this body. I have to do these. It's Maya Jale Baddha Hoye. Achon Miche Kajoloye. Kaj means work. Everyone's so busy, no time for anything. So only the Vaishnava can see that this is this is an illusion. You're living an illusory life, and you don't have to live like that. Actually, you can mat chitta sava duragani mat prasada tarishishi. You can become conscious of Krishna, mat chitta. Means give your heart to Krishna, love Krishna, think of Krishna. Much chitta. And then Krishna says, Sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishishi. All of the problems, by my mercy, you will overcome. That's not just my poetical little rhetorical statement to you. That's what Krishna says. Much chitta. If you think of me, Sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishishi. You will overcome all the trouble just by my mercy. So if you don't believe it, then you just try. You just experiment. And see what Krishna does for you when you do something little for him. What he does for you, what he's prepared to do for you. And the little, all we have to do is chant Hare Krishna. That's much chitta. Chant Hare Krishna, much chitta. And then you don't have to tie yourself up in this network of illusion, of illusory bondage that you're enslaved in. You don't have to do that. And rather your attention and your effort, your energy it gets directed towards deepening your relationship with him. And everything else gets looked after, as he says that Anannas chintayanto mam. Ananna chintayanto mam. Those who think of me exclusively. Ananna chintayanto mam. Those who absorb themselves in me. Ye jana palyu pashate. Those who worship me like that. Tesham nitta abhijuktanam. And in this way they remain nitta abhijukta. Constantly abhijukta, connected to me by thinking of me, absorbing their mind in me. Yoga kshemam vahami aham. I manage everything for them. Krishna's saying here that you can just actually fall in love with me and dedicate your mind and your heart to me and forget about all of this anxiety that you're fixing your mind in. Forget about it. I will look after you. Just cultivate your love for me. That's the whole purpose of human life. Only in the human life can you actually wake up to that. Oh, this is the secret. There's no hope in the other forms of life. I was chatting with a taxi driver a few weeks ago in Calcutta. And because I'll speak a bit of Bengali, so it's very interesting to them. And they're very interested. And I'll entertain them a little. And then I'll tell a few local colloquial jokes, and they'll nearly fall off their seat. And then an opportunity, then I'll say, Adhyattik upalabdhi de jonna apni ki kochen potidin. And what do you do in your day to realize the spiritual reality? I'll ask, what do you do? What effort are you making to realize the spiritual reality which is underlying everything? And he said, bondhu, bondhu, kaj korte hobe. Chalta sangsar chalta hobe na. He said, we can't think of these things. He said, we can't think of these things because I can't get it out of my mind, all of the work I have to do to maintain my material situation, maintain my source because I've taken shelter of the objects of the senses. I've taken shelter of the pleasure I get with my touching and tasting and smelling. I've taken shelter of that. I'm attached to that. So that's why I have to work so hard. I've become completely absorbed in that. You hear, as Prahlad says, that Nate vidu saatagatim vishnu durashayai bahir artha manina. Having forgotten their actual relationship with the Lord, bahir, the external energy, bahir artha manina. They consider the external energy very important. The material energy very important. So they can't wake up. I said, what? He said, I can't get my mind off this. I can't get my mind off this. The mind becomes completely absorbed in the illusion. I work, I'm a father, I have to be there by 5. And next week we have to complete it. Our mind becomes completely absorbed in that, like a sponge, just soaks it up. And your consciousness becomes materialized. Like internet, how is it? It's amazing now how I've seen the people change in because of smartphones. I eventually succumbed. I couldn't be out of the loop anymore. And I was passing through Chennai airport, and it struck me as I was sitting in the departure lounge. Every person in the whole departure lounge, from all different places, all over India, this and there, all there at that one time, without fail, everyone was just sitting there looking at their smartphone. So then, why? Because you get some enjoyment out of it. And the mind gets attached, and you become absorbed in it. It actually relieves you from the immediate suffering that you have to experience if you confront the reality of your life. When you confront the reality of your life, then you just see that this is miserable. The effort I'm putting in, the return I'm getting is not worth it. But I have no other choice. Somehow I'll try and break the rules, I'll try and squeeze more out of it, I'll try and get ahead, I'll somehow make the equation different. But at the moment, the effort I put in, the return is not worth it. So that when they confront their reality, it's miserable. So they can forget, and your mind gets in there. And their mind, they're absorbed in it, their mind completely absorbed in it. And that way, you can't do this. You can't think of God. You don't know the secret. Secret is you have to practice sadhana, and awaken the taste, awaken the attachment, awaken an attachment to hearing. In the beginning, we don't want to. In the beginning, we have no interest. There's no point. You sit and read. Well, at the end, you get nothing. There's so many alternative things you could have done in that 10 minutes, and at the end you could have had something to show for it. I'm just going to sit and read. What am I getting out of that? The mind can't tolerate it. You could be answering emails. You could be moving things. You could be looking at the schedule. You could make progress in the real business. We're so much in this materialistic to get ahead. Bahirartha manina. I have to achieve all of these goals to feed my belly ultimately in a comfortable way, and therefore we just we can't focus. We can't absorb ourselves. They're too chased up. So you have to. So by force in the beginning, by force. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. By force, every day minimum. Sankhya Purvaka Nam. Means counting, Sankhya Purvaka Nama. Nati B, paying obeisances. Kalavashani Krito, they worked on it. Kalavashani Krito means they utilized their time, they put effort into it. Sankhya Purvaka Nama. Gana Nati B, Kala Avashani Krito. Nidra Aha Viharikadi Vijito. They reduced the activities of material enjoyment. Nidra Aha Vihar. Sleeping, eating, other comforts, they reduced. A little renounced life. Nidra Adyanta Dino Chayo. For what purpose? Radha Krishna Guna Smriter Madhuri Anandena Samohito. To become completely enchanted by Samohito. Radha Krishna Guna Smrite. Remembering about who is Radha, who is Krishna, and everything related to Krishna consciousness, the qualities, the pastimes, the mercy. Parama Kuruna, Bahu Dui Jana, Nitai Gaura Jana. Let's sing that song. I moved on to a different topic. The qualities. The qualities will enchant your mind. The qualities of the Lord will enchant your mind. You'll lose your interest in the flavor of the material success. What is this material success? Illusory. And the qualities of the Lord will enchant your mind, and you become attached, you become a follower, you become a lover of Gauda Hari and the Lord, and absorb yourself. And then, you're a loser, Baba. You're not doing anything. You're not in your life. No. For that person who's given himself to the Lord, Lord, He just looks after everything for you. All those problems, forget about them. Just think of me, love me. Tesham nitta abhiduk janam yogakshemam bahami aham. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. Those who, yea, bhajanti, who worship me, who love me, who serve me. Bhajanti, serve. Those who serve me, who do Krishna bhajan, serve me. Yea bhajanti tumam bhaktya, with love. Mayi te, they're absorbed in me. Te shu cha api aham. And I am absorbed in them. When you love Krishna, Krishna becomes interested in you, and he reciprocates. So he looks after any of you these requirements. Why? Because he doesn't want you to become distracted from cultivating your devotion. He wants that. So if you cultivate your devotion and put energy into that, all of these other problems that maya jale baddha hoye, that we've tied ourselves up, these were you become liberated. Ekono chaitanya peye radha madhav nam bolode. Ekono chaitanya peye. Yes, ekono chaitanya peye. Because we have been given consciousness. We've been given the advanced consciousness, the developed consciousness. Ekona chaitanya peye. We've been given developed consciousness, and you can do with it what you want. Just like, could you imagine seeing a bird, a crow, or a pigeon holding a smartphone and being completely focused in it for 40 minutes, like this? Could you imagine? Because the animals don't have that developed consciousness. We have developed consciousness which we can direct in any direction, in any way we want. We can utilize in any direction we want. We can absorb ourselves. And the materialists are absorbed in chewing. Chavanam, again and again they're chewing, or they keep changing, but they absorb your mind in these things. So if you divert if you actually, you make yourself Krishna conscious. Ekona chaitanya peye. You make yourself Krishna conscious. Radha Madhav Nam Bolore. By chanting. You have to make yourself Krishna conscious. By the practice of chanting the Lord's name and hearing about the Lord. Make yourself Krishna conscious. And you can become Krishna conscious. You can become Krishna conscious. By the method. Jivana hoilo shesh na bajile rishikesh. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Na bajile, I haven't worshipped Rishikesh, and now my life has come to an end. Bhakti Vinod Upadesh Ekba Nam Rase Matore. If you're going to just once get a taste, if you can taste the nectar of the name at least once, just this is my instruction to you. Why does he say just taste once? Why does he say just taste once? That's it, yeah, because once you've tasted, then you lose interest in other things and you just want more and more and more. Yeah. Shall we sing this? Can I just negotiate a little bit with the AC? Give me a few minutes. I'll promise I'll sing a couple of songs for you. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Judapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagarajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vidang Dhangsha Jivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shaidam Krishna Chaitana Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vinamshta Nam Gai Koda Modushade Koda Modushade Go faster. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maya Jali Grihe Thako, Mone Thako, Sadhu Hari Bole Dako. Sadhu Hari Bole Grihe Thako, Mone Thako. Sadhu Hari Bole Dako, Bole Dako, Sadhu Shukhe Dukhe Bola Naga, Bodore Hari Nam Bolore, Sukhe Dukhe Bodore Hari Nam Bolore, Nam Gai Gunda Modushari Nam Gai. Maya Jale Vada Hoye, Acho Miche Kacha Loye, Vada Hoye, Maya Jale Vada Hoye, Acho Miche Kacha Loye, Vada Hoye, Acho Miche Kacha Loye. Ekono Chaitanya Pe Radha Madhav Nam Bolore, Ekono Pe Radha Madhav Nam Bolore, Nam Gai Gunda Modushari Nam Gai Modushari. Jipanno hoilo shesh na bojire Rishikesh. Jipanno hoilo Rishikesh, Jipanno hoilo shesh na bojire Rishikesh. Nabadire Rishikesh, Vakati Binod Upadesh, Ekabana Prase Madhure, Vakati Binod Upadesh, Ekabana Prase Madhure, Nam Gai Gunda Modushari Nam Gai. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Nam Gai Gurga Madhu Shade Nam Gai, Nam Gai Gurga Madhu Shade. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauda Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gauda Hare. Hare Sachinandana, Gauda Hare. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gauda Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bahutule Premananda, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. 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 Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Janita Gaud, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaud, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gauda Pramanande, Hari Hari Bo, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Now we mentioned this morning, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This morning we were discussing about Ashwatthama's punishment. So the Kurukshetra war had been completed now. So Krishna is deciding now to return to Dwaraka from Hastinapur. And chapter 8 of the first canto begins to explain that initially upon embarking upon the departure, at that time we'll see the incident where Parikshit Maharaj is saved in the womb. And then after that, Queen Kunti offers her prayers to Lord Krishna as he's departing. We'll look at those today. Some of these prayers. And a little tomorrow on Yudhishthira's lamentation. So the first few verses of this 18th chapter are explaining that. So Krishna, as we mentioned, the battle of Kurukshetra is open, is finished. Krishna is preparing now to alight his chariot and depart for Dwarka. And at that time, it's interesting to note that now coming back to our discussions this morning, perhaps we could say when we look at what happened next, perhaps we could say it would have been better that Ashwatthama was executed. Because immediately after that he went and again threw the Brahmastra weapon, specifically directing it towards Parikshit in the womb of Uttara, who was the remaining heir of the Pandava dynasty. And because all the other sons had been killed, and this one, he's Arjuna's grandson. Everyone else had been killed. Arjuna's grandson. I guess now they're at retirement. There's no question of taking new wives and going through the whole thing again. Yeah, I mean, come on. Got a plan for the next life before while he's still got some energy. So these young men, they got the smart idea, all that energy that would have been used just for Maya Jale Baddha Hoye and creating illusionary obligations that are not real. Asatya Satya Monikori. We'll sing that song sometime soon. Ahankara Mata Hoya. I become mad because of false ego. Nitai Pada Pashariya. And turning away from the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Asatya Satta Monikori. I'm thinking all the temporary things to be real. And to waste so much energy on that. So much energy. Makes it energy that if we don't get entangled in those things, we can divert all of that energy into understanding our relationship with Krishna and developing our love for him. So leave some time before the end of your life at least, and the sooner the better, because you become an expert before you give up the body. If you put enough time into it, you can become mature in your Krishna bhajan if you put enough energy and time and attention. It's all a matter of sadhana practice. Make yourself Krishna conscious by sadhana. So Abhimanyu, Parikshit, Abhimanyu's his father. Abhimanyu, he's in the womb. And Uttara, she prays, she immediately takes shelter of Krishna. And Krishna protects the child in the womb. Let's see what happened. Perhaps you can read text number, 1 minute. Someone would like to read for us. We can read text number 12. Text number 9. If someone would like to read text number 9. Maybe we can chant, someone can chant it and we'll all respond. Now, Prabhupada is translating this prayer as follows, that Mahajogi, you have so much power, mystical power, that Pahi, Pahi, please protect me. You are the worshipable, of the worshiped Lord of the universe, Jagat Pate. And then Nanyam Twat Abhayam Pashay, who else is there? Nanyam. Yeah. Na anna. Na anya. Not another. Prabhupada's commenting. Can someone read?
The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon Him is especially looked after by the Lord. The Father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the Father.
Whoa. Whoa, there's a little secret Prabhupada's giving us. Some thoughts on that? Yes, Nitamadev.
The Lord is in anxiety because that devotee, that just like the little son, is not taking anxiety for himself, he's handicapped. So then that way the Lord then takes full anxiety for maintaining him and supplying him all his needs.
Yeah, wonderful. What are your thoughts on this? The more dependent we are on the Lord, the more He feels responsible for looking after us. Well, how to become dependent on the Lord? Can surrender? Yeah, how to become dependent? I mean, big guys here, so many big guys we got here with their big reputations and their health, a lot of healthy chaps here today. And different accounts, online accounts. We're keeping with us several ATM cards just in case there's another demonetization. We got it all worked out. We can pull out 3-4 notes at a time instead of just with one card. And we're together. We're some pretty together people here. So, with such facilities materially, what's the need of how to take shelter of the Lord? I mean, what do we need Him for? How do we take shelter of the Lord? So then we'll just pop into the temple once a week and just in case He is, in control. I mean, I'll keep managing everything, but that's also on the schedule. Just if He happens to be the supreme controller, then we better make sure that, He remembers us. We've got it all under control. So it's not so easy for us to become dependent because it's not our ahankara mata hoya. We don't think that we're the dependent servant. We think we're in charge. We're so successful. So how to become dependent? How to feel dependence? Yeah.
One easy way would be to just give up all these things and sort of, if you have a lot of money, just donate a big chunk to the temple so that you don't have much and dependence on Krishna.
So practically you'll be dependent.
You would practically be dependent.
That's one possible method. Yeah. That's one option you have. What are other options? If that one for you is not an option. Yes, Mataji.
When we associate with the devotees, the senior devotees will tell us how to depend on.
And what do they say? You've been associating with them?
We're following their instruction.
Yeah, okay. What was my original? How to feel dependent. Yeah, how to feel dependent. Well, you're being dependent on the representative of Krishna. That's good. Mataji, how to become?
Keeping Krishna at the center of whatever you do, maybe prasadam, maybe the work that you do.
Very good.
Get attached to this.
Mataji, your name?
Sangeeta.
Sangeeta. Yeah, I remember from before. I remember Sangeeta. I was hoping you were going to sing some Bhagavad Gita for us, but there's little secrets to remember people's names, And when I think of Sangeeta, I just remember that, singing Bhagavad Gita, Sangeeta. And then Dolly's there, but I won't mention how I remember Dolly's name. It's just you have to develop these techniques to remind something about the person, the name. So, like for example, Prabhu, when I see his mind, which is just like so, like new ideas for spreading Krishna consciousness are just like illuminating, from his mind all the time. Like his hair, you notice that it's a little bit kind of like high-wired, bzzz. Right? It's like these ideas how to spread Krishna. So I see that high-wired, that up here cranium, and I think, Prabhu, right? Good intelligence. Yes, so as Sangeeta Mataji mentioned that we have to practice becoming dependent on Krishna. Ata chitam maya Atachitam maya, what is that? Atachitam na shaknati mayi. Atachitam. No, how does it start? Atachitam. It's 12th chapter. Anyone got the Bhagavad Gita there? 12:10, 12:9. Maya stitam maya shakti. Na shaknati mayi stiram. How does that start? Na shaknati mayi stiram. Ata chitam samadatum. Na shaknoti mayi stiram. So ata chitam samadatum. Na shaknoti. If you don't have the ability, na shaknoti mayi stiram, to constantly remember me in just like devotion, love. It's like awakened love for Krishna means like a romance. A romance. Maybe you see young couples having a romance, and they're like always on the phone with each other. Oh, tumi kemon acho? Balo. Tumi ki kocho? Kichuna, tumi ki kocho? That's right. All of the older chaps are laughing here. It doesn't last very long, right? You see that because now the name of who's calling comes on the phone. The name, you can see who's calling. So now you see the older husbands. Look at their body language, the non-verbal communication. When the phone rings and the wife's name, you look at their. Well, in the beginning, it wasn't like that. But that's what real love for Krishna is like. That you're mad. You just can't forget Krishna, like a romance that just gets deeper and deeper. Goshanda Vitisavaro Braja Kede Mahavivolo. Is that known? Radha Kunda Tate Kalinda Tiraya Tire Chibangshi Premon Mada. Radha Kunda Tate, sometimes on the bank of Radha Kunda. Kalindibane on the Jamuna, bank of the Jamuna. Govardhan Kalpapada Batale, or on Govardhan Hill under the trees. Premon Mada Vashara Shesha Dashayo Grashto Pramato Sada. Premon Mad. The Unmad means complete madness as a result of love. Premon Mad Ashesha. Unlimitedly experiencing. Vashesha. Pramato. Grasto. Grasto means haunted. Haunted. Have you had an experience where you haven't been able to sleep because of some mental disturbance? Those raise hands, those of you who have been so disturbed about something you haven't been able to sleep. Yeah. Sometimes you stay up all night. You can't sleep because the mind is so worked up over something. So that type of experience is what prema is like. That you can't get Krishna out of your mind. Preman Madhavashada Shesha Dasha Grashto, haunted. Pramato, completely mad. Sada, all the time. Like Mahaprabhu. He couldn't deal with the world because he was so much the symptoms of ecstatic love of Godhead, crying, horripilating, falling on the ground. When he went to Ramkelli, I think I told that story here, a description of Mahaprabhu going to Ramkelli, and the superintendent of the police, because they thought it was some type of a civil disobedience political movement. There's Hindus, and they're all tens of thousands, and they're following him, and he's right beside the Nawab's palace. And so Nawab sends the superintendent of the police, and the superintendent of the police comes back and gives a description of what he saw. Would you like to hear what he said? He said, I've seen so many mendicants, so many sadhus, but I've never seen anyone. This is like a prince. He's like a prince in the dress of a sadhu. His arms are like those of a lion, and his chest is like an elephant, and his face is like 1,000 rising moons, and his eyes are like the petals of a lotus. his lips are like the red bumble cherry fruit, and his teeth are like shining white pearls. And he's so tall you can hardly see the top, and his arms stretched down. But he's explaining these, and he said the most amazing thing is that he doesn't know whether it's day or night, whether he's coming or going, where he is, what he's doing. He doesn't know if it's day or night. He's constantly shedding tears of love of Godhead and in the kirtan absorption. He cannot live without worshipping the Lord, without kirtan, without serving the Lord. And he said the most amazing thing is that within at least in an hour, within every hour at least, he falls to the ground 100 times. You work out the statistics. That's more than once a minute. 100 times in an hour is about 3 times a minute, isn't it? 100 times in an hour. What is it? Every minute. Yeah, so by the time you just get up again, he's falling down again. Right? This is what it means to be Preman Mara Maharishi, Grasto Pramato Sada. So if we're not naturally on that platform, as Krishna is saying that, Ata Chitam Samadhatam Na Shaknoti Mayishtiram, if you're not able to do that, then Abhyasa Joga Juktena. You have to practice. We have to practice being dependent on the Lord. You have to practice that. And ultimately it begins with chanting and giving your consciousness to the Lord, serving the Lord by hearing. And that's how you develop dependence. And then the more we become really dependent, the more Krishna will become will practically get involved in protecting us and in presenting himself in our life. We'll see the mercy of the Lord at all times, even in apparent reverses. Just like when we're hearing about this Brahmin that he was offering in Jagannath Mishra's home. That's another nice story. If you come on the Yatra this year, we're going to do some of the childhood pastimes of Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. So this Brahmin comes and he's offering his boga, and then he's ringing the bell. He's praying that Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prem Pradaya Krishnaya Krishna. No, not that one. Namo Brahmanda Devaya. Namo Brahmanda Devaya. He's praying, please Gopal, come accept. And then Mahaprabhu, he comes crawling in with his ankle bows. He sits, he puts his hand, he starts eating the rice, looking at the Brahmin. You pray, you call, you're crying, you're begging me to come. How can I refuse? How can I refuse? He said later. He says, what is my fault? The girls are saying they're taking him into the different room, trying to tie him up. And then I was saying, what is my fault? He's calling me with such devotion. So, first time he's stealing the rice, the Brahmin calls out, hi, 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 calamity, calamity. So the Lord is coming directly into your home, and he's taking your offering with his hand and looking and smiling at you, and you're thinking calamity, calamity. So when we become dependent on the Lord, then even the calamity, we don't see any. Of course, this is Leela. But we'll see everything. The Lord is dealing with his devotee. And we'll see that the calamity also is not a calamity, because he's my protector and he's doing what he's doing. And I just go on along with the ride, and I'll continue to worship him and chant his name. So nothing can go wrong for a devotee. Like we were hearing, that thought come to mind when you made your comment about committing yourself and becoming dependent. When we hear the history of our temple here in Juhu, and in those early years, it was very easy to be dependent on the Lord. Right? When you got 300 gundas lined up on the street with hatchets and other types of axes, and okay, it's pretty easy for you to be dependent on the Lord. 5 or 6 foreign guys and some ladies. So in those early years, the devotees are in the jail, and I also mentioned to you this morning I was in jail. He tore his blanket and made japamala out of the woolen blanket. He's there with japamala. Big woolen blanket. He made beads out of the blanket. So you can become dependent on the Lord. He went through the whole morning program. I was in the cell next door. I heard him the whole morning program. Everything. Tulasi prayers, 10 offences, obeisance to the Vaishnavas, 16 rounds, Bhagavatam class. So now here, because you're so comfortable with this temple, it's such kind of prasadam, restaurant. Right? You can't. It takes you 10 minutes to get from one end to the other of the preparations. Right? There's so many. You need 5 plates. You need a whole bullock cart just to taste each item. And the comfort, marble, the comforts, the beautiful, the gorgeous, the festivals, prasadam. Everyone, you come for the class, you get prasadam. So those years, early years, the preaching field, very easy to feel dependent on the Lord, because you're when you're preaching, you've got nothing. These devotees, they can't. Prabhupada, what an example. Comes off the boat in Pennsylvania, he doesn't know anything. He writes the prayers, he writes a couple of Bengali songs. Why have you sent me here? I think I should go back. He was completely bewildered, literally. When he arrived in America, he had no idea what the Lord was going to do. And talk about being feeling of dependence on the Lord. Wow. Bina bondu ado ke ache itoma. You're in an environment where you're surrounded by people. The person that you know most and you're most familiar with is Krishna. That was Prabhupada's situation. He had a deeper relationship with Krishna than anybody in the environment he was within. No relative, no friend, only Krishna. So if you get a chance for the preaching field, then that can help you develop your feeling of your realization of your dependence on the Lord. You can read this. Someone like to read? So the story goes that Lord Krishna entered the womb of Uttara, and he protected Parikshit from being burnt by the Brahmastra, which was sent by Ashvatthama. And at that time, Parikshit actually saw Lord Hari, who came and protected him. And it's described that subsequently, whenever he saw a person, he would examine, is that same Lord Hari who came and protected me in the womb? And in that way, he was given the name of the examiner, which is Parikshit. Yeah. So the sages, they wanted to hear about the birth, because his birth was extraordinary, because he saw Lord Krishna in the womb, and Lord Krishna protected him from being destroyed by the Brahmastra weapon. This is Maharaj Parikshit, the Raja Rishi, the great. He's not just an ordinary king. He saw the Lord directly when he was in the womb, and he's a special person. And this is described in Srimad Bhagavatam in this incident. And subsequently, chapters 11 of the first canto will describe the birth of Parikshit. The whole birth ceremony will be described in full in the 11th chapter of the first canto. Please read.
Thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons, and Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home.
Okay, so now Kunti begins. Kunti is, in one way, you could say she is the senior family member, being the mother of the Pandavas. So she's there, but they're her prayers, but also the whole Pandavas are all there, everyone is listening. And the prayers of Queen Kunti. She touches on so many interesting topics. We'll be looking at some of the topics in our brief discussion this afternoon. We'll be looking at humility, obeisances, pastimes of Krishna, approaching Krishna. We'll look at a few of these topics. Now, the prayers of Queen Kunti were very much liked by Srila Prabhupada, and there's 2 occasions at least where Prabhupada exclusively lectured on these verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam consecutively. once in Mayapur in 1973 and once in Los Angeles, I think in 72 or 74, one of those years. For a month, close to a month, Prabhupada every day, he selected, he began and he lectured on these verses. And you can get the book, The Teachings of Queen Kunti, which has those lectures. And they're very amazing because the prayers are Sanskrit prayers. They're very beautiful prayers. You often will hear devotees chanting some of these prayers in their obeisances. Very beautiful prayers, and at the same time, they, as we're looking at some of the topics here, they shine light on some of the very exalted philosophical concepts of the Vaishnava Siddhanta. A few prayers, very deep philosophically, very sweet to hear, very beautiful poetry, very much appreciated and liked by Srila Prabhupada. Let us examine some of the prayers of Queen Kunti. And perhaps someone would like to chant the Sanskrit and we'll respond. Can you read translation?
Shrimati Kunti said, "O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all."
So this is very philosophical. Ishvara prakrite param. You are not affected by the material energy. You are the controller of the material energy, the supreme controller. So this is explaining the Kunti's realization of who Krishna is, that Kunti realizes that Krishna, who's her nephew, she realizes that he's the supreme personality of Godhead. And that's her relationship. Please read.
Srimati Kunti Devi was quite aware that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Although he was playing the part of her nephew, such an enlightened lady could not commit a mistake by offering obeisance unto her nephew. Therefore, she addresses him as the original Purusha beyond the material world.
So this is showing difference between the Pandavas' realization of Krishna and their love of Krishna compared to the residents of Vrindavan. Because the type of relationship that the Pandavas have, it's called Gaurava Sakya Prema, which means that, or Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, he calls it Aishwarya Yukta Prema. Aishwarya Yukta. They understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aishwarya Yukta Prema. They love Krishna and they understand he's, like in Dwaraka also, this relationship is there in Dwarka. The devotees know that Krishna is God. And this is studied in Nectar Devotion that we... Whereas in Vrindavan, they don't think Krishna is God. They don't think that he's God. And in that way, the Leela is more intimate. We can discuss a little more of that later when Kunti Maharani mentions Jasoda. And just like Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, one day Jagannath Mishra, he calls Nimai. Nimai is very small, just enough to walk. He says, Nimai, Mishra. He says, Nimai, bring my book. Bring my book. So Nimai runs off, he finds the book, he comes running in, just like Gopal Raj bring the slippers of Nanda Baba. So Nimai brings the book. And as he's bringing the book, Jagannath Mishra can hear the ankle bells, sound of ankle bells. And he's wondering, well, this is interesting because my son is not wearing ankle bells, but we can hear the tingling of ankle bells as he's moving around. Very interesting. And then Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, they noticed on the floor of the home, the floor is mati, the footprints, the mati, not like this, the mati. And they said they could see the footprints, and they noticed that the footprints had the symbols of the Shankha and the Gada and the chakra and other symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the footprints, and they're scratching their head. And then Jagannath Mishra says, aha! Because he thinks that he's the father of Nimai and that's all there is to it, and Nimai is not God. He thinks, aha! Our deity, Damodar Narayan Shila, in the night time is assuming a human-like form and is wandering around the house. Mother of Vishwambara, you kindly cook a special item of sweet rice, and tomorrow we'll do a special abhishek of Damodar Narayan Shila, because he's being so merciful on us. He never will think that Nimai is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Maya, the illusory Maya. Even we were discussing in Mayapur the other night that when Mahaprabhu came back from Gaya, and he was so changed, he couldn't sit and give the class anymore. He would roll on the ground, climb the tree, fall on the ground. Tears were incessantly flowing from his eyes, completely. So Sachimata, she's wondering, what's going wrong with my boy? So Sachimata would feed him, and then she would bring Vishnu Priya, all nicely dressed in beautiful sari with ornaments decorated. She would bring Vishnu Priya in front of Vishwambara to try to snap him out of his madness of love of Godhead. She's saying that, and Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in the purport that because too much absorption in love of Godhead will be an impediment to material enjoyment. Sachimata is trying to kindle the interest in material enjoyment by bringing his beautiful wife and placing her in front of him. Didn't you get your head around this? That Sachimata, who is eternally the mother of Lord Hari, she is Jasodamar. And she forgets all that. And she's thinking that I am in Bengal and in Mayapur village, and Sachi Dulal, or this Jagannath Sutta is my son, and I'm his mother, and now he's getting too religious, and I have to get him back into material life. Whoa! They're completely. She's a liberated eternal associate of the Lord, and she's in special Maya, just to play help. Because how would it be? Okay, how would the sannyas be? Oh, I'm going to take sannyas. Tikache, you're God, no problem. What? How's it when you come home and you tell your wife? You say, Devi, I think the time has come for me to accept sannyas. And then when she says, hey, grab a pen, where's the letter? Grab a pen, where's the letter? I'm ready to sign. We're going to go, what? Where's the lila in there? Where's the drama? We don't want her to just, I'm ready to sign. Go, take sannyas. When are you leaving? That's not the response we're expecting. No, how can I live? How can you go here? Yes, you have to take shelter of my instructions. So Mahaprabhu's sannyas, without Sachimata being heartbroken, if she thinks he's God, then sannyas, of course he's God. You take sannyas, I have no objection. Then where's the lila? And Vishnu Priya, they don't think he's God. He's Nimai, he's Navadip Chandra. He's Dvijamani. So this is the relationship that Kunti Maharani has. Let's read another one. Someone like to chant?
Maya Javani Kachanam Ajnadokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshase Mudadrisha Nato Natyadaro Yatha.
Translation, please read.
Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternal, irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized.
Na lakshashe mudha drisha. The foolish, they cannot see God. He's completely disguised. And they cannot see, they just see the billboards, the roads, the office buildings. They cannot see God. So Prabhupada comments in the purport. Please read.
For less intelligent men, there must be such thing as temple, mosque or church, so that they may begin to recognize the authority of Lord and hear about Him from authorities in such a holy place.
That's why we established temples in the city. Prabhupada came here, he saw the jungle, he said we must have a beautiful temple because he knew this would be such a big city, such a prestigious place, and we need a temple here so that just by walking in you'll feel the presence of the spiritual world. I remember the first time I visited ISKCON Juhu temple. It was many years ago. I was traveling from Australia to India and we stopped in Juhu. And then we had a flight to Delhi and we were going to Vrindavan or something, or Mayapur somewhere. But we landed in Juhu, in Mumbai. And we had about 6 or 7 hours. And most of the devotees stayed at the airport, but some of the devotees, we came here and we saw Mangalati. And I remember when I came in, I'd never seen it was like the doors, they're so huge. And the doors, it was like opening the doors of the spiritual world. I had the experience, Mangalati. The spiritual, come to Mangalati with that. Now I'm entering the spiritual realm. So the temple creates that environment where we can get a pratyaksha through the senses and experience. And most people require that. And therefore, like TUVP, big temple, and people just wander around. They come to see. They'll be affected in a spiritual way. They'll see the deity. They'll bow down. They'll take prasadam. So therefore, for the common people, temples are required. That is Kanishta Adhikari level. And this level here, where we can actually sit for 2 hours without getting up and being agitated and running off to do so many things, and just hear about Lord Hari, that's a more advanced level. It's a more advanced level. You're on a more advanced level. Because a common person couldn't come and sit down. Their mind is too out of control. They wouldn't be able to relish hearing and in that way connecting. Why is it that we're able to sit unagitated and satisfied? Because the Punna Ridyanta Shtohi Badrani Vidunadi Sritsatam. The verse I wanted was this one, that as Lord Krishna says to Narad Muni, that Naham Tishtami Vaikunte, I'm not in Vaikuntha. Yogino Ridaye Shuva, nor am I in the heart of the yogis. Yatra Gayanti Madbhakta, Tatra Tishtami Naradaha. Yatra Gayanti Madbhakta, where my devotees are glorifying me. Tatra Tishtami Narada. I manifest there. So because we're hearing about the Lord with in appreciation of Him, then hearing that is pleasing to the Lord. He manifests, and therefore we feel the presence of the Lord when we're hearing the discussion. That's a more elevated platform. But actually, that is the platform that will purify the consciousness. So preaching, what does preaching mean? Preaching means to somehow or other get people to hear. Sravanadi Shuddha Chitte, as Mahaprabhu instructs Sanatana Goswami, that the most primary method of purifying the consciousness is hearing. That's the most primary method. Shravanadi, beginning with hearing, Mahaprabhu has said. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. The chitta becomes shuddha, the heart becomes pure. So preaching means you have to get people to... So we distribute books and then they hear, I am not the body. Material misery is a result of me unworried to illegally trying to enjoy the material energy. What to do? Bad situation to be in? Oh, chant Hare Krishna. They hear. Or we speak to them, or they come, they hear. Any program, you've got to get people to hear and get them to hear the holy name, to chant and hear. That's it. That's what preaching is. Somehow or other, get people to hear. hear the Krishna Katha, hear the Krishna Upadesh, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. So actually that's more important than the temple. And the temple without hearing going on is slow, will have very slow effect. So Prabhupada, he's combined in our, as we were discussing this morning, Pancharatrika and Bhagavat Vidhi. Prabhupada bought the Bhagavatam and started the Bhagavatam program, Bhagavatam class. So you come to our temple and you can see, you can taste, you can feel, you can hear the class. The class should always be there, morning and evening. And even so many classes going on, so that people get an opportunity to hear. And that's the much more advanced level. That's Madhyam level, hearing, and then you can do kirtan. After hearing, you can do kirtan. You can glorify, because you've been purified. You can glorify. You can preach, and that's the Madhyam level. So, because it's difficult for people to see in general the Lord, Kunti explains that Katam Prashena Hi Striya. So how is it possible for me, who is a simple woman, to see you and to understand you? So we're mentioning about humility. So this is her humility. She's seeing herself disqualified in so many ways. Rather than trying to negotiate at the table of control, of influence and power in ISKCON, through pushing gender issues, better to take a humble role and rather identify all of the disqualifications and shortcomings that I have, and using that as the basis of cultivating humility. Not negotiating, how come we can't have more, how come, or whatever, on a gender or race. Just accept who you are. These things are immaterial, and I'm disqualified actually. The Western is a disqualification compared to Bharat. Mahaprabhu didn't say, Australia, Bhumiti hoy, Manusha Janamajar. He said Bharat. He didn't care about, and not that he didn't care, but he made special attention, Bharat Bhumi. Because practically speaking, it's easier for a person, a soul in an Indian body, it's easier to control the mind than it is in a Western for a Western body. It's easier. And because of Vana, because the influence of Dharma over the generations. All the rishis and the munis, meditation, how often you see in the forests and in the jungle in America, and the rishis and the munis are living there? None. But in India, because meditation, people, they can control the mind, they can practice focused meditation, it's easier. And they're not actually, Indian body, Indian mind, Indian intelligence is not designed for sense gratification. They're not designed, they're not very expert at it. Trying the best, trying, but they'll never be able to compete with the Westerners. How is it? Just go to Singapore, or go to some European country. It's like you're in a different planet compared to the way we manage the environment, the way we set up things in India. Everything's falling apart. Occasionally, a few little pockets here of civilization. I'm allowed to say these things because I sang so many songs today. But because why fight it? We're trying to become like Westerners, but you're not designed like that. You're meant to just work a little and do meditation on Lord Hari. That is Indian culture. Work what it takes, keep the show on the road, and use your time for spiritual development. That's what India is meant for. And so we'll never become like the West. Never become. It's not meant to be like that. But unfortunately now we've degraded. Instead of in sattvic enjoyment, we're just lazy, and people just enjoy sense gratification. India, people don't work hard in the government and other places. They're lazy. Any way they can get around. I came into India, I never saw such a phenomena. You go into a shop and there's 6 men there. Right? One guy's doing the work and there's 6 other guys there. And, oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're watching, we're supervising. That's what it means. Success in India means you don't have to work. You just tell everybody else what to do. That's the goal. But people don't know that. You're clever, but you're meant to utilize that to work less and do more Krishna Bhakti. That's the whole idea. You work less, you have that facility, work less, and then do more Krishna Bhakti. The Westerners, don't have the brain for that. They work and work and work, keep inventing new things. Electric toothbrush, huh? We're so advanced. Electric toothbrush. Who came up with that? A hairdryer. Who comes up with these crazy ideas? Because it's all misdirected intelligence. You don't think of how many hair dryers were invented in India. Who invented what material enjoyment has been invented in India? It's just way behind the ball. Because your psychology is not designed to think like that. I was traveling in Bangladesh and I'd never seen such a thing that people would wash their pots in the pukur, in the pond. I'm thinking, at first it frustrated me. I'm thinking, come on, where's the laundry? Where's the sink? Where's the running water? Where's the shower? Where's the hot water system? Like we got it together, we know how to, but they don't think like that. For thousands of years, they're just washing the pot with the ash from the fire in the pukur. Why? Because the brain is not designed to change things. Because why change? We're just here for a short time. Just finish up your business and go. This is an advantage. A birth in India is an advantage. When I first arrived in Calcutta, I came out of the airport, I saw Ambassador Taxi. I couldn't see, such a phenomenon. This model is 50 years old. It's from a 1950s Morris Minor, British model. And I came in 1985 in Calcutta, and I thought, what is this, some special convention? Automobile, vintage automobile collectors convention? I couldn't work it out. This is Calcutta Airport. What are the 1950 models Ambassador? Why? Because once the British patent company, they packed up and they left India, the people that took over, they never thought to change the model. It never entered their mind. Every year now it's a new model, a new car, a new phone, new model. It's marketing. We make a new model that you make a new model, everyone with the old model immediately thinks, oh, we have to upgrade. That's marketing. But they never thought like that. It's the same model for 60 years. Why? Because the brain is not designed to try to overlord the material energy, because you have sattva knowledge. Why change the model? It's not going to improve our situation. But Indian mind is designed to think like that. But we're not taking advantage of that and training the youth in sense control and spiritual knowledge. You train acharyas. That's what we're supposed to do in ISKCON. These boys. You train them up properly, they can become, a powerful servant of the Lord, and distribute Krishna consciousness, because purity is there. So we should consider ourselves disqualified. Disqualified, humble, not, always remember, Jogita bichar kichu nahi pai. Jogita bichar. When I examine myself, bichar, I examine. Jogita bichar, keep my qualification, my qualification, Jogita bichar kichu nahi pai. I don't see any good in my family, in my education, in my skills. That's how a devotee thinks. Tuma Karuna Sar. Your mercy is everything. Karuna na hoile. Kandiya prana na rakibo ado. Without your mercy, then there's no point in me carrying on, because I have nothing else. That's how a devotee thinks. So we should embrace all of our disqualifications. Remind ourselves of them. Prabhupada goes on to explain, he's commenting on this. We'll read this one. Can you read this? So these comments are in relation to those who are not in Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada says they also are promoted. When they become a devotee, then no longer are they in this category. Please read.
Not that even though they become interested, they keep behind. No. On the with equal force with man, they also promoted. So following her footsteps, anyone can also understand Krishna.
Yeah. No, that doesn't mean that equal to men externally or in terms of social position, but in terms of spiritual progress, which is what is the essence. You see, you have to learn how to get out of this material world. You just accept your position, and you just do your duty, and you practice Krishna consciousness. You cultivate Krishna consciousness. You just play your role, whatever it is. And don't try to externally make a revolution. That's what's recommended here. Prabhupada comments in the purport. Please read. Coming? Women in general are unable to speculate like philosophers, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and almightiness of the Lord, and thus they offer obeisances without reservation. This is from the purports. The Lord is so kind that he does not show special favor only to one who is a great philosopher. He knows the sincerity of purpose. For this reason only, women generally assemble in great number at any sort of religious function. Prabhupada ki. What's happened? This is not no? Huh? So then maybe we'll do a bit of kirtan and just carry on tomorrow with praying Kunti's prayers. We just read that one. Well, we'll finish with this verse. We'll do this verse. Now let's do this tomorrow. We'll do that. We'll start with that one tomorrow. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. We'll chant.
Yes.
Let's chant that prayer I just said. Parama Karuna. Thank you. Let's just chant that bhajan. Param Karuna. Parama Karuna. Padama Karuna. Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Padama Karuna. Pohudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Shabhavatara Shada Shivramani Kebala Ananda Kanda. Shabhavatara Shada Shivramani Kebala Ananda Kanda. Kebala Ananda Kanda. Baja baja baja. Baja baja bhai Chaitanya Nitai Shudreda Vishasha Kori. Baja baja bhai Chaitanya Nitai Shudreda Vishasha Kori. Vishayacharya Shai Roshe Majya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. Vishayacharya Shai Roshe Majya Vishayacharya Shai Roshe Majya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. Parama Karuna. Parama Karuna Pohutu Vijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Pohutu Vijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Deko Ore Bhai Tribhubane Nai Emana Doyala Data. Emana Doyala Data. Poshupaki Jude Poshana Beta De Shuni Chara Gunagata. Poshupaki Jude Poshana Beta De Poshupaki Jude Poshana Beta De Shuni Chara Gunagata. nahilo asha. Sharamaji Rohile Separe Nahiro Rohile Poria Separe Nahiro Apana Karama Bonjaye Shamana Kahe Lochana Dasha Apana Karama Bonjaye Shamana Kahe Lochana Dasa Padamakodana Pahudu Ikjana Nitai Gaura Chanda Nitai Gaura Chanda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare Jaya. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gunga Haribo. Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribo. We invite you to come tomorrow and we'll carry on with the prayers of Queen Kunti in the morning. Shri Prabhupada ki